Hello there, my name is Adam, and I'm going to be doing a ham radio class. This is my introductory video. I'm going to keep it a little bit short. This one should be a better quality sound than my last one. First of all, this is the book that we're going to be using for the class. It's called ARRL Ham Radio License Manual. If you want to join the class, I'm going to be creating I do have a Facebook group. So I'll post this to both my YouTube video and my Facebook group. And it's called Saratoga Springs Ham Radio. And I live in Saratoga Springs, Utah. And there's my son peeking in the side. And he's my lovely assistant for today. You remember that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Or whatever it was, third grader, fifth grader? Well, he's older than that. He's seventh grader. But he's 12. And I have taught this class for adults and 12-year-olds, and they have passed it. So my son is going to try to pass it based on the class that I give. So if he can do it, you can too. So anyway, I'm going to be using this particular manual. So please purchase it online. I will put a link to it. You can get it from hamradiooutlet.com or Amazon. Amazon has it a couple dollars cheaper. If you buy in bulk, like more than 10 people, you might get a little 10% discount or something from Ham Radio. But anyway, I'm going to be posting an event on the Facebook group. So please do RSVP. Seating is limited because it's going to be held in my house. And so if we have too many people, we may have to limit it. So I want to get a count. I don't want like 50 people to show up because we don't have that much space. If we have 20, it'll be probably okay. But so please RSVP. Purchase the book. And it'll come in a couple days on Amazon. And I'm going to go over a little bit about what ham radio is, why you might want to get your license. Also, I have a syllabus. This is what it looks like. And basically, I'm going to be doing a 7-week class. We could go 8, possibly, based on the interest. But I'm going to try to keep it to 60 to 90 minutes. 60 minutes is going to be instruction. I'll another 30 minutes if people want to stick around and talk or ask questions, they can. But I'm going to keep it to 60 minutes. If I can. So there are 9 chapters in the book. Chapter 1 and 2, a welcome and intro and radio and electronics, will be the first week. Week 2, we'll talk about electricity, components, and circuits. Week 4 is propagation, antennas, and feed lines. Week 5 is operating station equipment. Week 6, we'll be talking about how to communicate with other ham radio operators. Week 7, we'll talk about licensing requirements. Week 6, licensing requirements. And then week 7 is operating regulations and radio safety practices. So a little bit about the exam. The exam is 35 questions, multiple choice. And they do have a test bank of questions that the FCC publishes. So they publish the questions and the answers ahead of time, and they just pick from them. I think there's something like 200 questions. And in the back of the book, they have a section that is the question pool. So here in chapter 10, they have the question pool, and they'll tell you about the sections of the test. And so, for example, this is sub-element T1, this is the first section. It'll have the question over here, and then it has the answer. So you just kind of cover it if you don't want to see it. I'll talk a little bit about the test briefly. It's a $35 application fee if you're 18 or under and taking it for the first time. ARRL, the American Association Radio League, they're the nationwide organization to support ham radio. They have a youth fee waiver program where they will, for certain tests, if you go to a VEC, volunteer examiner coordinator, they will give you $30 back. So it's like $5 for the test for 18 and under if they're taking it for the first time. Other than that, it's a $35 test. I think it's about a 60 to 90 minute question. It's a multiple choice. So you could be done as quick as 30 minutes if you know the material. Just depends on how you take tests. So that's a little bit about the tests. Now, a little bit about ham radio. If you don't want to get a license, you can pick up something like these. These are the FRS radios, Family Radio Service. The FCC has licensed 22 UHF channels that these will work on. You can pick these up online, or you can go to like Costco or Walmart or something and pick up these. They're known as FRS, Family Radio Service radios. It operates on the UHF band. So these ones are pretty easy. You just turn them on. It's got a channel number. It'll say channel 11, you can switch channel 12, 13, all the way to 22. So if I hit menu and up, I can just like change channels like that. And then you're talking on a different channel. It's pretty easy and straightforward. The downside is they're only limited in their power. I think it's like 2 watts or something, or half a watt in certain channels. So they don't go very far, 1, 2 miles, maybe 5 if you're lucky. I have had line of sight go like 20 miles on occasion with these, but they don't go very far. The other thing is, in a disaster, a lot of people are going to have access to these, and these frequencies are going to be really jammed. Just think about it. You got 100,000 people, say city, and the power goes out, and you got 22 channels, 22 lines of people trying to talk on. It's just not going to work very well. So that's where ham radio is a little bit better, because first of all, the community of ham radio, the operators and maintainers of systems and equipment and people that are interested in it have a real emergency mindset, and they're very courteous as a general rule, more organized. And so anyway, you'll have more bands, more frequency options. You can select it and put the frequencies in that you want to talk on, rather than the hard-coded static frequencies that you're limited to with FRS, only 22. So this one is a dual band VHF UHF. So it does from 144 to 148 megahertz. There's a whole bunch of frequencies in there you can use. And then there's the UHF 440 band, 448, I think. Anyway, this one has the extra long antenna. You can get the smaller ones. But for starters, as far as cost goes, there's a very affordable one. This one is called a Baofeng. It's a 5-watt radio, and it's very inexpensive. This one has the extra long battery, a little bit extra long, so it's a little bit more expensive. It's like $35. The 5-watt with a smaller battery is like $20 on Amazon. They're good starter radio, low investment. If you like it and you like ham radio, you can upgrade to a higher quality one, which, by the way, I do recommend you do, because I had one of these for like 2-3 months and it started acting weird. One of them already started acting weird. I don't know if it was breaking down or just a defective unit I got, but they're not that high quality. This one is a Yaesu FT70D. This is a 5-watt, similar, same power, so it's not any more powerful, but it is a high quality radio. It has a lot of features. You can store something like 1,200 channels and memory channels. It's got all kinds of features on it, but it is a higher quality radio. Yaesu, I think, is a Japanese brand. The Japanese really love their ham radios, and they have a lot of high quality equipment. So they're really small. They don't think of them as this big bulky thing. Ham radios can be small. You can also get what is called a mobile unit. This one is a 100-watt actually. It's an ICOM V8000. They don't make them anymore, I don't think, but I got this one initially because it did 100 watts. So I thought, well, if in my car I'm driving along and I want to try to get further distance, I got 100 watts. The smaller handhelds are 5 watts. They'll go fine based on the terrain and stuff. But if you want to get something, I think most mobiles will go up to 50. You have to look around to get this 75 or 100 watts, although I don't know that you really need one. But anyway, this is what I got. It's an ICOM V8000, good one. And it has a little place in the back where you hook up you hook this up to your battery of your car, and it has a place for the antenna. And you screw in the antenna, similar to a CB radio, if you've ever used those. It had the same type of connector. But for the antennas, this is a magnetic mount one, and it just sticks to the top of your car, side, wherever you want to put it. It will go like 65, 75 miles an hour down the road, and it'll stick. So it's a real strong magnet, and they work good. I've used them before. And anyway, at the end, it has a little connector, and you can get adapters, and you can actually just plug them straight onto your handheld if you want to use your handheld and have a better antenna on your car, or you can use the mobile unit that I just showed you. So what are the advantages to the mobiles? Well, with the mobile unit, you have portability, so you can travel, high up on a mountaintop or whatever, wherever your road is, and if you have gas, you can go up. So that's the advantage to mobile unit. What is the advantage to ham radio in general? Well, I have had the opportunity to live through a hurricane. In 1989 in North Carolina, it was Hurricane Hugo. We were without power for 2 weeks. And within a day or so, the telephone lines went down because, Well, actually, when the telephone lines, believe it or not, take power, right? This was before our cell phones were really popular. So the phone lines were down because they had no power, because the power was out. And so what they did was the cell phone company came along and they put generators at the base of the cell phone or the telephone poles to power the phone system. And then they were telling people on the radios, on the AM, FM regular broadcast radios like music and stuff, they were saying, hey kids, get off the phone. You're jamming up the phone lines, people can't get in. And teenagers were at home bored and they would pick up the phone and start talking. Times are different now, but it brought home the point to me that, even the phone service and cell towers and everything, they take power. So your cell tower may be lucky enough to have a battery backup for a couple hours or whatever. They may even have a generator for a day or two. If you're going for 3 days or more or 2 weeks without power, chances are you're not going to have cell tower service. So you're not going to be able to use your phone, let alone the internet. Because guess what? All those devices that bring you the internet between you and your house, they take power also. The routers and all of the servers and everything like that, they take power. So in a regional power outage, you're not likely to have internet or cell phone service. So this is why you want to get a ham radio, battery powered. You can hook this to your car or solar as well. There's solar things you can charge with. But anyway, in an event of an emergency, you can communicate with people. Also, I don't know about this particular phone and antenna. You'd have to get special antennas, but with the technician license, there are 3 licenses. There's a technician is level 1, general is level 2, and extra is level 3. Now with the technician license, you do get access to some UHF bands where you can talk to satellites. So, it depends on the type of satellite, and I'll go over that later in another topic, but there are satellites you can get access to. There's also repeaters that they have throughout the US and the world. And so the concept of repeater, especially like here in Utah, they put the repeater on the mountaintop, and you down in the valley, you're talking to the repeater there, and then that repeater repeats it and goes somewhere else and transmits the frequency wherever that repeater tower can see. So your radio might be like, you might be a valley or a hill or something that might prevent your signal from reaching somebody. But if you can see the mountain and your friend across the valley can see the mountain and the repeaters on that mountain, then you can go 50, 60 miles or more. So having access to repeaters is good with the ham radio service. And those also take batteries, and some of them have backup batteries and or generators, some don't. Just depends on the specific repeater and who's running it and what they've put in. But good reason to have it. Also, they use ham radio, and it's called RACES, and Aries Emergency Radio Service. And so a lot of first responders and things in times of disaster, Red Cross and medical and police and that sort of thing, they will use ham radio frequencies. They can coordinate with it, so it's a good thing to have. Anyway, if you're interested, join my Facebook group, and please reply if you're interested. Buy the book ahead of time, and look forward to seeing you either virtually or in person. Thank you.